On this episode of Carnage, we're going to do a health check on our 1JZ. So, on the last episode of Carnage, we worked out that the alternator had gone bad on the Trolvo. It really didn't like 8,000 RPM plus, but we have a good, genuine Denso alternator in there now. So instead of 10.5 volts, we're seeing a proper like 13.6, 13.7, which is great. At 10.5 volts, you don't have enough voltage to run the fuel pumps properly, the injectors properly, the ignition properly, and the headlights going on made it all so much worse. So, we don't know if we've heard anything on this. There's so much that can go wrong. So we reckon we probably should do a health check on this thing, starting with a compression test. All right, so we've got just a generic compression tester kit here. We'll slide her in, fire it up. So we're just going to crank it over for a bit, see what our pressure is on our comp gauge. Yeah, hopefully it should be around the 160-ish, I think, from memory. We'll see how we go. Okay, not 160-ish. What's that? 120-ish. Okay. Yep, 120-ish. Just a smidge under, if anything. $110-ish, or sorry, a bit over 110. So. Yep, just under 120-ish. Battery's running down a bit, 110-ish. So similar to number 3. The fact that the battery's running down a bit is probably not helping. Yeah, just over 110-ish again. So they're all within 10% of each other. The battery is running down a bit, so that's obviously going to affect it a little bit, but I think it's pretty solid. Obviously it is down from when we did it way back, because I'd have to go back, but I'm pretty sure they were in the like 150, 160 range. Obviously the cams have some input into this, so we've changed the cams, and that has changed the effective compression ratio, so, and therefore the compression test. But there's no one cylinder that's wildly down from another, so I'll call that good for the moment until proven otherwise. So we've done a comp test. It's come up mostly pretty even, but now we're going to do a leak down test and see if we've broken any rings or anything like that. So I'll screw our hose in first. Obviously got it turned over to top dead center on number 1. Okay, plug in our air line. Okay. Alright, we're at 0. And we'll plug in our hose. Alright, so what's that about? 27%. It's in the green zone. So we'll call that good for number 1. Alright, moving on. I reckon that's pretty close. Okay, number 2. About 30. Still in the green. And number 3. Again, about 27%. Pretty even so far. Cylinder 4. And about 30%. Okay, number 5. Yeah, about 32. Okay, crank it down. Go past 0 and then crank it up slowly. And start to see it move, just slow right down. Creep up on it. Alright, number 6. About 28 to 29. Okay, so we've got some information there. I don't think it's particularly bad. Number 5 is the worst, which we expected because that number 5 was the worst when we originally comp tested this engine back when we first got the car. The number 5 was down a fair bit. Funny enough, when we re-comp tested it just this morning, number 5 was one of the lower ones, but not significantly down compared to the rest. So anyway, leak down test is all between 27 and 32%. Fine, it's in the green zone. It's not great, but you know, hey, we don't know the condition of this engine. We've never known the condition of this engine. As I said, it sat in a dirt floor shed with no sump on it for a long time, several years. And you know, we've turned it into a 9-second monster. So I reckon we put plugs in it, put the coils back in it, and we send it again, run 9s, and then it goes on the market. But yeah. All right, one last problem to solve. So it's a new day, and with a new day comes new parts, and we have this rather large catch cam from ProFlow. That's going to be awesome. So we've had a bit of an issue. Certainly last time we took the car out racing, we had an issue with our catch can filling up rather quickly, and yeah, within 2 runs, we'd have to dump it. And if we forgot to do it, we'd end up with oil all over the engine bay. So we've gone with this unit. It's a 3-litre catch can, so a lot bigger and baffled inside and that sort of thing. So hopefully shouldn't give us any trouble and it will solve our issue. Hopefully. But anyway, let's get it in the car. It comes with a little drain tap. Wonder how much this is going to leak on me. Oh, there it goes. Almost got me. Feels like it's got a fair bit in it. Actually, it does. Yeah. So we cable tied just some microfiber towels around it to stop it from spraying oil all over the bay. But once it gets up to a certain level, it just fills those towels straight away, like they're soaked right now. But yeah, as you can see, it's a tiny little catch can. It's only like a ½ litre job, so 3 litres is going to be much better. Wow. Oh wow, it's just full of oil. Yeah, it's tiny. Look at it, and it's just so much oil up there in the filter. No bueno. We may not use this right angle drill very often, but when we do, it's priceless. Gotta say, I love these step drills as well. Now for the nutserts. So we fitted 2 -10 ORB fittings up here. We've got our little drain on there. We're ready to go. Donk. Just like a ball. So now we've got our 3 litre catch can in there. That's awesome. That's not going to be a problem anymore. But while we're under here and talking catch cans, we've got this new transmission catch can from RTS and ProFlow. And that mounts right there. So this is a really neat solution for what is a fairly common problem, especially with high RPM cars like this with automatic transmissions. On the trans brake, you know, they can push a little bit of fluid out of the vent tube, especially at the start line, and it can result in some fairly awkward conversations with track officials. So this stops you dropping fluid at the start line. They don't push a lot of fluid, it's usually just a couple drops, but enough to annoy track officials. So you got this to capture it, and that way you can just check it when you're back in the workshop and the car's up on the hoist when you're preparing for the next meeting. But yeah, unfortunately, our big stupid exhaust is kind of in the wrong position for the fitting, so we're going to block this fitting off and drill and tap this end and run it to this side. But other than that, this thing will be a bolt in and shouldn't take too much time at all. Industry standard. So now that we've got that drilled and tapped, we've got a fitting in there. So it's easy as just bolting it up. Okay, well that looks pretty good, and it's not going to drop oil anymore, which is awesome. But anyway, the health check's gone pretty well so far. I think we'll leave it there for the day, but coming in the morning, we'll cut that filter open, but I'm pretty confident. I'm confident everything will be fine. But yeah, let's go home, have a beer. Well, I was having a good morning. I came in early, did the oil change on the Volvo, cut the filter open, everything was going well until I looked inside. Come and have a look at this. Actually, you can see some of the carnage here on the bench. Have a look at this oil here. And look how much glitter is in this. And then have a look in the can. So that is a lot of metal, a lot of bearing material. And it's like, you know, metal on the bench, metal in here, the filter's just full of it. It's not good. There's a lot of bearing material there. And we even know what the cause is because the car launches so violently, and it's always been a problem, especially with this front sup setup. And I've talked to Christian Golby about this. He said they all do it. And back when we were running like high tens, you know, the pressure would drop sharply and then immediately bounce back. And he said, it's not a problem. It happens to all of them. And, you know, as the cars got faster and the launches had become more violent, it's becoming worse. And it really was bad on those 9-second launches. The pressure went away, like it had come down from 70 to 30 and then stay at 30 for like 3 seconds or more. And that's not good when the engine's doing 8,000 RPM. So yeah, it's really hurt it. I forgot to run the extra oil level in there that Christian told me to run. He said run an extra 2 litres above what it normally runs, and I didn't do that. And that kind of has hurt it. The car runs and drives, it's fine at the moment in terms of running and driving, but we can't race it like that. And I certainly can't sell it to anyone like that. So we're gonna have to fix it. What do? Do we repair that engine? Do we build up the 2JZ that's up the back? I don't know, but whatever we do, we're gonna do something, then race it again, and then we can move the car on and use the money towards other projects. But whatever we do, you're gonna see it on a future episode of Carnage. Bloody cars. It just never ends, does it?